coming within 150 yards of the U.S. destroyer.
The rising tensions between the world's most powerful countries, the United States and China. With U.S. President Biden upping the competition with China.
Today, we're in the strongest position in decades to compete with China or anyone else.
We investigate a key area of contention.
Belt and Road has been a very mixed picture.
Belt and Road is not a threat. It's a road forward for humanity.
This project has been very successful.
An ancient civilization and a world hegemon.
Huawei is very dangerous.
中国从不读美国书，也无意挑战和取代美国。同样，美国也不要读中国书，不要干涉中国内政，应该欢迎一个和平、稳定、繁荣的中国。
At this moment, neither China nor the U.S. want to beat the others to death.
The United States is losing to China in peaceful economic competition.
This is a competition like never before.
The U.S. is always the good guy, and the bad guy can change.
The world has not yet decided that it wants a Chinese order with Chinese characteristics.
If the Chinese initiative is bad, why are they trying to respond to it in such a way?
They control over weapons systems and they control over information.
China never said, well, the U.S., you go away.
What are the forces behind, and what's at stake? We traveled to the world's southernmost hydropower plant in the Patagonian Plateau and embarked on a journey to explore how a competition revolving around the Belt and Road takes place.
Very important project. We have the same in the other dam.
Since its construction in 2015, Western media have fervently attacked the project, casting it as China's ambitious Belt and Road initiative, buying influence in America's backyard. One of the biggest concerns is the environmental consequences of the dams. That's what we read in the media. That's what we filmed at the site. We investigated how the dams affect the Argentino Lake, the water quality of the Santa Cruz River, and the Perito Moreno Glacier, all of which are essential to the local ecology.
You guys make a change. Could you explain to us what is the change?
There are important changes to the original project. The height of the dam go down, no touch the Argentine Lake. It's an environmental solution. It's a good solution for the environment.
If you want, I can show you for a simple example.
Okay.
Show us.
So this is the sample. Yeah. We are going to take a little.
Oh, you can drink it. So the water quality is very good.
I can drink the water.
Yeah.
Development always has to have a balance between what is going to be the impact on the society, on the environment, on natural resources. Does the West have the right to basically come in and try to weaponize the environmental issue?
It's presenting a new model of infrastructure cooperation among participating countries. This new model is threatening the established model being propagated by the United States and its allies in the world.
We decided to go to the glacier and observe up close the complex relations between the glacier and the dams.
You mentioned the dam and also working with scientists to study the glacier.
It is necessary to establish what is going on with this source of water. The project brings benefits to the glaciers. Projects give funds to them. The Chinese part is very important because the credit to do the dams.
A mí me parece que China hoy es un contrapeso del imperio de Occidente. Entonces eso genera que empiecen a moverse estas campañas de rumores y ¿no? Y todo esto que va sucediendo.
Since the 1950s, Argentina has been attempting to harness the hydroelectric power of Santa Cruz to address a shortage of energy in the country. The project consists of 2 hydroelectric power stations and a 500 kilovolt transmission line that stretches for 173 kilometers. The total installed capacity of the power stations is 1,310 megawatts. Upon completion, the project will boost Argentina's power capacity by about 6.5% and save up to $1.1 billion annually, even enabling electricity exports. Ramiro Ordoqui, the former Undersecretary for Economic Negotiations of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Argentina, sat down with us in an exclusive interview.
We were in very uncomfortable situation related with the imports of GNL. We took the decision to stop some imports of that because the deficit in energy for Argentina was huge. It was a problem. But in the future, projects like the one in Santa Cruz are very important for us to reach a new level on our production of energy, and we hope also to export to the rest of the world in the next year.
They say it's a Chinese way to gain influence in countries like Argentina.
No, we don't believe in that. We have relations with all the countries in the world, and the only thing that we want is the development of our country and the benefit of our people.
Are you worried the close relations with China might put Argentina in a disadvantaged position because it becomes too reliant on China?
China offers us a way to work together. It's a very good way to win-win. Yes, we believe there is a new world. What we have to find is our own way. We want to be part of the voices of the development countries that want the best for their people.
¿Qué opina de los chinos?
No, gente muy buena, fue interesante conocerlo, tengo buenos compañeros y sí, una gente muy amable, son muy amables y muy cordiales.
¿Qué opina de Estados Unidos?
No me gusta nada de Estados Unidos, en nada de nada. Como país, digamos, político, no me gusta nada. No, prefiero más China.
Whether the Belt and Road Initiative is successful or not, that should be judged by local people, local state, not as the West. As long as local states welcome this project, that means this project is successful.
From Latin America to Asia Pacific, to compete with China, the US has proposed its own version of the Belt and Road Initiative.
The so-called the Blue Dot Network, once proposed by Washington. And that was reportedly a counter approach, countering the BRI. But after some years, of course, we seem to have lost track.
Well, it's interesting that people have been calling for infrastructure and real improvements for decades, and it's only when China starts doing it that the West suddenly develops a new program.
The China-US relations have become a dominant factor in the US perception of the BRI.
Perception of a threat from China has grown dramatically from Obama's first term to his second, to Trump, to Biden.
When the BRI was first unveiled in 2013, frequent exchanges between China and the US led the Obama administration to rarely talk publicly about or criticize the BRI. But the BRI has gained momentum.
我的家乡就位于古丝绸之路的起点。中国愿同东盟国家加强海上合作，共同建设21世纪海上丝绸之路。
It garnered extensive support from the international community. The growing success has led Washington to start to panic.
They have a deep fear of China. This sense of fear is groundless.
We nailed down the tipping point.
China also intends to use its One Belt, One Road initiative to increase its reach.
In this hearing, Dan Coates, then Director of National Intelligence, claimed China built its geopolitical advantages worldwide through the Belt and Road Initiative. The Trump administration launched a war of narratives against the BRI amid his trade war, a failure in hindsight.
In a globalized world, there's many belts and many roads. We do not offer a constricting belt or a one-way road. Regarding one belt, one road,
to the extent they have an adverse...
There are more than one belt.
Such predatory actions are set on.
There are those who are more extreme. You have these types of people like Marco Rubio who just spews out ignorance on the issue of China. He should probably close his mouth and learn something. I mean, these are, unfortunately, voices that do get covered too much.
Obama and Trump and Biden have each, in their own way, tried to do what they think was necessary to safeguard U.S. interests. But there are clearly differences in approach between Trump and the other two presidents.
As China-US relations undergo ebbs and flows, unease within the Biden administration has grown regarding the BRI.
So Sino-US relationship actually is a victim of this domestic chaos. The populist force is so strong. The whole society is so divided.
The U.S. is probably right now the worst in terms of this massive anti-China propaganda. They become victims for this kind of propaganda that wants to define China as a threat.
In 2021, the Biden administration abandoned the previous Trump initiatives and rebranded the old wine in a new bottle.
We have to do more than just build back better. We have to build back better.
It feels like every year they come up with another acronym, like there's the PGII, then the BWB. The thing that doesn't actually even make sense in English, Build Back Better word is very poor grammar, actually.
The Build Back Better and now the broader multilateral partnership for global infrastructure are fundamentally different than the Belt and Road. They're about helping to leverage private capital, the private sector. It's not state-owned enterprises. It's not entirely clear to me that the Chinese government is still convinced that Belt and Road is fundamentally the kind of central vehicle for Chinese overseas development.
The United States runs a massive balance of payments deficit. In net terms, the United States can't be a big lender abroad. It's true that the United States has the advantage of the dollar. It can do some lending, but it hasn't got the resources to. It can't compete.
Today we officially launched the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment. Collectively, we aim to mobilize nearly $600 billion.
And what actually ended up coming through Congress at the end is very minimal.
And they're trying to talk about, building back better world for other parts of the world when they can't even maintain their own bridges.
The Build Back Better has no substance to it. It's even openly said that this is only because they want to counter the Belt and Road.
It's like in sports or in soccer. You are playing soccer, you are being beaten, you are being dribbled, you just hold the other by the shirt and pull them back. That's what they're trying. They're trying to pull back China. China is unstoppable.
It's just one symptom of the country's crumbling water infrastructure.
Lead in the water supply in Flint, Michigan.
The water crisis in Jackson. Tonight, America's fourth largest city is...
The inability to provide feasible infrastructure means the U.S. has to secure power through other means, media campaigns. We traveled to Shenyang in North China to meet French entrepreneur Arnaud Bertrand. He is a longtime observer of China-US relations and a social media influencer. He shared with us his candid observations about the narrative war online.
Our own population doesn't know anything basically about this country. We can't keep making decisions based on total hysteria, on fear based on nothing.
You were also accused of taking Chinese money for speaking up for China. How do you see this kind of accusation? And do you take Chinese money?
Are you going to pay me? No, funnily enough, the only people who've ever paid me to give a speech or write articles are Americans. It sells newspapers on clicks right now to get the public, scared about China. You have either the American government or some not well-intentioned NGOs that take advantage of that. Now, look at our background. It's an incredibly developed place. The realist actions disguised with liberal rhetoric. So again, the key objective of the West is to contain China, stop its development.
If you say something and it's not fully aired in its context, it'll be misunderstood by people at home as well.
And how do you see this political pressure?
Well, I don't consider it, direct political pressure, but people try to explain what is going on in China, often are seen as apologizing for China rather than explaining China.
How can we share the authentic stories of the BRI? On a balmy summer afternoon, we invited a few documentary filmmakers to join us in a historic building in Trenzhou.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Yeah. How's it going? Good. Nice.
Here we seek to uncover how various visual presentations of the BRI can counter the Western narrative.
What tea is this?
Kung Fu tea.
So after this tea, watch out, guys. You all talk about the huge differences between what the Western media present and the reality in Africa. Why there's a gap?
So the only thing I can say, there is a huge amount of jealousy. And what have they given us? They've just given us their culture, their way, which we don't really like, which we don't really want. China, it is a give and take. And to a very large extent, Chinese people are not loud about what they do. They're not trying to make us Chinese like Americans are trying to make us American.
Zhang did a lot of film in Africa.
From a Chinese perspective.
Yeah, from a Chinese perspective. Also, it's a comparison with what the BBC did in Africa.
Why do you decide to make films like that?
当我自己走到坦赞铁路调研的时候，我有一个深刻的感受。怎么我看到的坦赞铁路现状是车水马龙的，是每周还在运行的。但是《坦赞铁路纪行》这部 BBC 的纪录片，他看到的坦赞铁路呈现的坦赞铁路却是一片荒芜的，是破旧不堪的。以真实为基底的这么一个影像媒介里边，其实现实看到的坦赞铁路和 BBC 所呈现的坦赞铁路影像有着巨大的鸿沟。
We will find the narratives about the BRI are mostly political and mostly made by the Western societies.
The West has always pushed the political agenda.
Yeah, even you got a Huawei phone and you open all the apps, they are full Facebook, they are Twitter, social media are dominated by the West.
It's just a challenge coming from the Western country because it's just like you had a wife and then one day you say, oh, okay, I don't like you because you're not beautiful, and another person take your wife and make it the wife beautiful, and you say, oh, I want my wife back. So
I'm wondering, is there any negative stories you heard, you read? Because no one is perfect, right?
We're sitting here as educated people, so we understand the propaganda. And that is why it's the job of us in the media to tell these stories.
Centuries ago, Arab travelers on the Silk Road brought Arab flowers to Trenzhou, leading to a lasting fashion tradition in the city. The Belt and Road Initiative weaves together narratives not of warfare, but of love and beauty.
Passengers, train C9 to Wall Province is about to
Looking back on our journey, we're troubled by the unfounded debt trap claims, the politically motivated environmental criticisms of the hydropower station, and confrontational rhetoric that threatens humanity.
These are the people I interviewed in series in Argentina.
The question is, how do we find the means to avoid conflict while still protecting our respective interests?
Time is of the essence. That things that are possible today, even though they're going to be difficult, become much more difficult as we approach a presidential election.
Our spirits are lifted by the flowers we received on the fast train to Laos, the mesmerizing sunset we encountered in Patagonia, and the laughter we shared with the Global South family.
The paradigm shift is unavoidable.
It's a selfless initiative. It's an initiative that links all humanity.
It reminds us the BRI projects are here to connect rather than divide.
I think in some way it's still a football game. The result is not which side is being killed, but the result of who gets more scores.
A new world order is taking shape. While it may not always be easy to agree on everything, it's essential to start conversations about practical matters rather than making up concepts of rivalry.